All right, this is the Big Al and Dave podcast. I'm Dave, sitting here with Al.
Raider X, Big Al.
Raider X? What is Raider X?
What is Raider X?
Where'd that come from?
Oh, I've been called.
Yeah, I mean, you've told me before, but it was so unimportant that I don't even remember.
Whatever. Years ago, there's one guy I was talking. He just gave me the name Raider X, and I just adopted. I liked it. I just liked the whole thing, and so I just picked up Raider X and just started seeing Raider X from deep within the confines of the Raider Nation.
When you call radio stations.
When I call radio stations, and my email is Raider X. Everything is Raider X.
Just because some random guy called you Raider X?
I used to work with the guy, and I just liked it being called Raider X.
Is it because you should be an ex-Raiders fan?
I am never going to be an ex-Raider fan.
I remember a couple weeks ago I said maybe I should be called 49ers X. How do you feel about that?
Maybe you should, because there's a lot of ex-49er fans.
What if I call myself 49ers Z?
How does that even sound? You know, you gotta have some pizzazz to it. You're gonna come up with a name. 49ers Z. That's soft just like the Whiners.
How about 49ers Y?
Boy, you really out there. Out there, Dave.
Like, why? What am I doing here?
Yeah, why? Because you don't know how to root for your team.
Oh, I root for them.
Oh, you're no different than any of the rest of them.
I just know they suck.
I agree with you.
You would never say that about the Raiders, though.
I am never seeing the Raiders does that.
Just in mixed company, you won't say it.
Oh, you don't know, because you're never going to be in the company to hear me say it.
No, I'll figure something out.
Whatever.
I'll get a secret guy in there with a tape recorder.
I know Raider fans when I'm talking to Raider fans.
Oh, you know them?
I know.
You can sniff them out?
It's sort of like...
You can sniff out the outsider?
I walk up and I smell that stench. I'll sniff and say, you must be a Whiner fan. I could just smell it.
How's it smell in my house?
Awful. I mean that figuratively and literally.
Is it because of the cats?
I think it's because of all this 49er garbage.
You're admiring it. Look at all this.
I am not.
Man, I'm hardcore.
I'm just you're not hardcore. Some people's always faking the funk, and you're fake. You are a fake Whiner fan.
You know how many press conferences I've watched?
And
pointless press conferences?
That just means you don't have nothing better to do.
That's probably a good point. That is true. All right, so let's get back on track here. We're going to talk, let's open things up with, you're the Warriors fan, right?
That's for sure.
I'm a hockey fan, but I'm also a fan of a good story. And last week, I guess we had a little feud with the Warriors' JaVale McGee, who I only learned about in the last podcast. When I was saying that the Warriors, do they need to trade to get a big man because of New Orleans loading up on Boogie?
Yes.
And then you told me who this guy was. So I guess this guy's a little sensitive, and he's a human blooper reel.
Yes, if you hear Shaq and the Food tell it, he's the only blooper reel out there.
He's been going at him for, well, I guess the guy's been in the league for 8 years with several different teams.
Oh, yeah.
So I've seen some of the bloopers. He's been on the Nuggets and Wizards,
yeah,
the Wizards,
and he's been
Mavericks.
making mistakes everywhere. But
what's your take?
My take is Shaq should probably let up on him a little bit. But, at some point you get...
Charles Barkley disagrees with that.
Well,
I just watched him.
Charles Barkley is an idiot. I'm just telling you that right now. The reason I say that about Charles Barkley is because Charles Barkley is always saying bad things about the Warriors. He's still mad that when he made that commercial years ago, and Chris Webber, when he was a rookie, came and he was driving for the hole, took the ball behind his back and he slammed the ball over Charles Barkley and posterized him and knocked him to the ground.
I know what that means.
And they made that commercial. They say, Weber, what did Barkley say to you when you slammed that ball on him and he fell down? Barkley said, I don't believe in heroes, but you mine. And ever since that, Barkley has hated the Warriors.
Weber said that about Barkley?
He said, yeah, he told him, I don't believe in heroes, but you mine. And that now Barkley, he ain't ever got nothing. See, the way I want to say about him, and we get back on the subject is, it's like,
go on.
When the Warriors before the Warriors won the championship, he was up there talking about, ain't no jump shooting team gonna ever win the championship. They won. And then this past year, the Cavaliers, they're basically a jump shooting team, and they won the championship. See, Barkley get lost in nostalgia back when he was playing 50 years ago.
When they played real basketball.
Whatever. You play in the time you play.
I remember Charles Barkley said that our top players from the 90s would have smashed the Warriors from now.
Well, you know what?
Because they would have pushed them around.
You talk to any player, they always think players was best in their time. But you play with the rules that the league allow you to play.
That's the thing, is which rules are you going to allow
if you're going to play by rules today, they'd be fouled out of the game. Your whole bench would be playing.
Yeah.
Now, back to JaVale McGee and Shaq. You know,
I got some of the tweets here of them going back and forth.
Give me one or two.
Well, okay, so Shaq has this, puts out the video on TNT, and it's a parody of some show called Doctor Strange. Did you even see it?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't really understand it because I don't know Doctor Strange. It's called Doctor Strange, right?
Yes.
McGee as Doctor Strange parody, okay. But I could appreciate the bloopers, like him getting hit in the face with a basketball. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, but you know, it's kind of like he's
on so many different teams.
I know, but the point is, Shaq is going back to stuff that happened with him 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. At some point, you know.
Well, I mean,
I think he's making a case. I think his mom is making a good case.
Wait. Let's back up here because Shaq earlier on it's called Inside the NBA on TNT.
Yes.
Earlier on the show, he was talking with Charles Barkley and Ernie Johnson there, and he's saying that, okay, Draymond Green got in touch with me, and that genius Draymond Green, and told him that we'll get to him later, and he told him that enough with the JaVale McGee. So this is kind of how this whole parody came about, was when you put it on Draymond for bringing it back up.
No, because this might have been the only opportunity he got, and it may not have been the point to where he knew it had been dropped. You know, I kind of like when Kevin Durant was sticking up for
we'll get to that. Let me read some of these JaVale McGee tweets to you.
All right.
Tweets to Shaq, and let's get your thoughts on that. So the first one after that video comes out is JaVale McGee tweets at Shaq, and it's a peanut emoji.
Peanut emoji, yeah.
Apostrophe S, so I guess get my nuts out of your mouth. And EAD, all capital letters.
EAD, let's see.
Hashtag that is all. What does EAD mean?
Well, I could imagine what the D is. The D is probably talking about the male organ. So,
eat a dick.
Hey, I bet you that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
That's probably what it is. I'm not saying that.
Guy's not so bad after all.
Yeah.
And then he says, "All right, y'all, I'm done responding. ... I think," and then 3 emojis of a thinking face. How old is this guy? 13?
He's 30, I think.
This is a 30-year-old guy?
I think he's 30.
Jesus Christ. Oh, wait, he says one more tweet. Last thing, think about this. H3 woke up. What's H3?
H3. I'm not into all of these. I don't tweet and hashtag and all that kind of stuff. So when they get to doing all these abbreviations, I'm just not.
H3 woke up.
Now, you're a young man. You should know all of these. There's no excuse. 35 years old and you don't know this, Dave.
You know how out of touch I am.
I never knew until now. But Dave, we got to go back a couple of seconds of what I heard you say a couple of minutes ago.
What did I say?
I heard you say Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
And here you are. You say that you're not a Christian, that you don't believe in God and stuff.
Correct.
But all of a sudden, here you come with Jesus Christ. I think I'm rubbing off on you.
I said his name in vain.
Oh, you did not say his name in vain.
I did.
You might think you said his name in vain.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just telling you.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to rub off on you. I'm going to bring you over from the dark side. I'm going to bring you back into Christianity.
Lord help us.
Oh, yes. You need all the help you can get.
That is not entirely false.
Okay.
H3 woke up and I was the first thing on his mind when he made that video. All capitals. That ain't weird to y'all?
Yeah, because you wake up in the morning, the first thing you're thinking about is somebody else, and from his perspective, he probably think he should probably be thinking about a woman or something.
Maybe he's in love with me. Maybe I should be flattered. IDK, guys. Oh, I don't know, guys. All capitals. This is JaVale McGee talking. You want to hear Shaq's response?
Yeah, what was Shaq's
His
response?
first response on Twitter. All right, so Shaq responds at JaVale McGee. Don't be acting like you a G. I'll smack the out yo bum ass. You the one that be looking stupid with your dumb ass. Hashtag bum ass.
Wow. Man.
Don't be acting like you a G.
You know what G is, right?
Gangster?
All right.
Hey!
Yeah,
Oh, hey, here's another one from Shaq. So right after that, a minute later, he tweets at JaVale McGee, now since you on a good team, you want to act like you a player now. Stop it. You will only be remembered for Shaq and a fool. Hashtag bum ass.
Yeah, I think Shaq done took it to another level, but then, with McGee, with his tweets, he's kind of egging him on a little bit. It seems like, like he could have downplayed this whole thing, but once you start making tweets back at a person, it kind of starts like a Twitter war, So in this case, I don't think either one of them is right, but I do think Shaq...
We're just all benefiting from it.
Oh, that's right. Because you know what? Stuff like this adds to ratings. Now you got people talking about Shaq and the food. It might be making Shaq look good, but I bet you his ratings is up on his show. And
They don't have any problem on that show, isn't that huge?
And I'm not sure they're worried about it because,
That's the top NBA show, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And people love Shaq and the fool. All I can say is don't do crazy stuff, But I think, Danielle McGee,
Do you think he's a little sensitive?
I don't think he's sensitive. Let me tell you something. Shaq and the fool, he's been brutal to him over the years. Like
I'm
his
looking at
mama
these.
say, that done probably cost him money over the years. When
You think he's doing it to himself?
But look, when Carr, he stepped up and said, the coach stepped up and said, look, when I was thinking about bringing him over here, it really had effect. I kind of was playing into and believing some of the stuff because of the stuff he had seen off Shaq and the food. And, like I say, it probably has cost him money.
Kerr's watching Shaq and a fool instead of game film.
Well, everybody's watching it. It's kind of funny. And every time you see somebody, and then all of a sudden you make the decision, do you want to bring somebody to your team? And then the first thing that pops up in your mind is, This fool falling all over and throwing the ball to the wrong person and stuff. Do I want that on my team? You know, so I can understand that. But I also I love the fact that Kevin Durant stood up for him.
Let's go back to the tweets real quick, because the next Shaq tweet was, "We gonna see how tough you are when I see your ass." Hashtag bum ass McGee. Hashtag bum ass acting like they players. Hashtag clown ass ballers. Hashtag you need more people. So I guess that's the threat.
Oh, okay.
Oh, because JaVale McGee said, "Oh, we threaten people now? Kick rocks, you old bastard. You ain't gonna do shit. And that's on my mama. Stick to cooning."
Wow.
What's that?
I don't know what stick to cooning is.
Isn't that a racial term?
I'm not sure if LaMelo McGee was using this in that aspect, but I think so.
What do you mean?
Cooning. I'm just not understanding in the way he used the word cooning, what perspective he was coming used. I just don't understand that part of it.
So Kevin Durant says, I didn't know cops could threaten civilians like that. JaVale McGee works so hard. So, speaking of sensitive, Kevin Durant gets all pushed out of, he's got rabbit ears, like the tallest rabbit ears in the league, maybe more so than.
But I think Kevin Durant.
You're not allowed to say anything bad about Kevin Durant either.
But I think Kevin Durant is looking at this. Shaq is a bigger than life figure. He's got a major platform, and you got a player here who's like a bench player, a role player on the bench, and he's being basically attacked by like this jolly green giant. And McGee doesn't have the same stature as Shaq has. Well, Kevin Durant stepping up. He's got the same stature right now as, even more so than Shaq. You know, because Kevin Durant is a future Hall of Famer.
Oh, Kevin Durant did mention that, Shaq wasn't perfect because he was airballing free throws.
I love that. You know, like Shaq, he said Shaq was not perfect. Shaq shot air balls from the free throw line from 4 foot away. He said the only thing Shaq could do is pretty much dunk the ball. You know, so Shaq wasn't perfect, so he should let up on him.
See, I think the perfect response for JaVale McGee would just be to roast him back. You know what I mean?
But like I say,
I learned all this clumsiness from watching you.
But he don't have the same platform. You know, since he's not a superstar, the media is only going to give him a couple of seconds to just get a line in. But Shaq is able, he got his whole show and the force behind his whole show to really level on this guy. And it's just like
JaVale McGee's tweet has 14,000 likes and Shaq's has 50,000.
I rest my case. Now, take it. I am a Shaq fan. Shaq is one of my favorite players of all time.
How can you not be?
Oh, yeah. He's one of my favorite players of all time. But I just think in this situation, I don't think he's right. And I think he needs to just,
Well, his mom stepped in. Shaq's mom stepped in and told him enough. You're picking on him too much.
Oh, that's right.
And so he said he will never say the guy's name again.
That's right. But then after he said that, they came back with that next show and showing all his bloops and blunders again.
No, this was yesterday. This story came out about Shaq's mom.
Oh, okay. So now his mom is picking up to fight for him. Because I was listening to somebody else. They say, now Mel McGee got his mom.
JaVale McGee's mom
is fighting for him.
Wants TNT and the NBA to step in and
That's
fire
right. And
Shaq.
fire him. Yeah, they said they want to fire him. If you don't look out, she might try to sue him. For I'm not knowing what she could sue him for, but I'm sure you got a lot of lawyers.
She's a former WNBA player.
Oh, I know. some people say she might be as tough as Allen Iverson's mom. You know, you go talk to her boy. I remember on that show, the McGee, she was out of control sometime too.
On what?
You never seen they had
She's a reality TV star?
They had a Vanilla McGee. That's why I think got him out of basketball, got him on bad terms in basketball. I thought at one time when he was at Denver, he started concentrating more on his reality show.
Oh, I didn't know.
And not on the, his business of basketball.
Oh, of course I didn't know any of this. I'd never heard of the guy.
Well, yeah, they had their own reality show, and like I say, he had got hurt. I forgot what got hurt on him, but during that time they started the show, and the show was catching on real good. And he looked like instead of rehabbing, he was doing more time with his reality show.
What's he doing on the show?
Being Vanilla.
You watch it?
I'm not into a lot of them reality shows because I'm not into just sitting up here listening to people argue all the time. But my wife used to watch it, and if it was still coming on, she'd probably still watch it.
Well, it should be on now.
Oh, yeah, it might get some better ratings.
Shaq's setting him up now.
Oh, yeah, Shaq.
Well, I guess McGee, when he came back at him, to give McGee credit, he actually initiated making this a story.
Hey, drama like this, hey, I'm sure it's helping in all of them ratings and stuff. Like Vanilla McGee, who would even be thinking about even mentioning his name right now?
He's not falling around with the Warriors. He hasn't had any because I've never seen any Warriors bloopers.
Oh yeah, he had one where
he even touched the ball.
The other team caught shot the ball. I mean, the Warriors made a basket. He took the ball out and when got ready to throw it in, and then he looked up and he thought, oh, I just made a blooper again. He just dropped the ball and ran down. Because you know when you shoot the ball,
goaltended his own team.
No, when you shoot, make a basket.
Yeah.
The other team takes the ball out.
Yeah.
Well, the Warriors made a basket. One of his teammates made the basket. He ran and took the ball out and was getting ready to throw it in to one of the other team's players. And then he realized he can't do that. Then he dropped the ball.
He was going to go the wrong way?
He wasn't going to go the wrong way. Okay, imagine this, Dave. Now, stay with me here. One of the Warriors shot made a basket.
Sorry, I'm like as smart as JaVale McGee. So.
I'm wondering. One of the Warriors made a basket.
Maybe
so
not.
The worst of the Warriors players automatically turned to go down on defense.
Yeah, the Warriors scored.
So the other team
JaVale McGee traded
has
himself.
to take the ball out, but JaVale McGee took the ball out.
He was going to do it
and
for
was
him.
getting ready to throw the ball to one of the other team's players. And he realized he can't do this, and then they showed over to the sidelines. All of Steph Curry and all the Warriors was put their head down and start making jokes. And you just see that they're saying, oh, he's going to be on Shaq and the fool again.
So they're laughing at it.
Yeah, they was laughing at him.
Yeah, so what did he do? Run into the locker room and cry?
No, he didn't. In that instance, he knew he was going to be on Shaq and the fool because he's a celebrity in that aspect. He's always there. So,
well, like Charles Barkley said, don't take him off of it. We'll take him off when he stops doing stupid stuff. Doesn't he have control of that?
Well, I don't.
Where's his head at? Why are you doing stuff like that?
But
over and over again.
That was only one thing this year. But they got to fall back and pulling bad things that he done from years ago. And sometimes people don't recognize that he's in a different uniform, and that was so long ago. They're in the moment, and they thinking about, oh, this is something that they just done again.
How awesome would it be if the show's on every Thursday, right?
Yes.
If the open is just McGee highlights, lowlights.
Well, I don't know. Him and his mom might show up with battle gear on.
Well, I guess Shaq's mom will come out.
Oh, yeah.
And kick her own son's ass.
Yeah, because she told him like he said, my mom asked me, so he didn't want to apologize to McGee. He just kind of like, okay, it's over with and stuff. This my mom asked me.
Yeah.
But I think it was some producers or somebody up high in that company told him, look, okay, enough is probably enough.
Here's another thing is about guys getting too sensitive. Did you hear about this one? Mark Cuban?
Yeah, what did he do now?
So, Bleacher Report tweeted Dirk Nowitzki shooting a three-pointer, and it was an air ball. And they put over it the sound they play on The Price is Right when you lose.
Mm-hmm.
And so Mark Cuban saw this and just went ballistic and said they needed to take it down immediately.
I could understand that.
What?
I really can.
Why?
Okay.
What's wrong with these guys?
Dirk is considered one of probably he's a Hall of Famer, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I know that
much.
Yes.
He's gonna go down as the greatest Maverick of all time.
Not saying something.
Maybe not, but he's going down as the greatest one of all time.
Who's number two?
And I don't even know. He may be the only great Maverick.
Okay.
But he came to the, it was sort of like degrading him and stuff, and he like came to the, like he just came to his rescue of, you know what? How often do owners come to the rescue of a player? To just step in. But he's a pretty controversial person, and he ain't really scared of the limelight either, and he don't mix his words. So I can understand why he would do it.
Why Mark Cuban would do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he always gets on, I guess, Donald Trump about being so sensitive. So it's kind of like hypocrisy.
Donald Trump being sensitive.
Oh, yeah.
Donald Trump being sensitive.
Anytime someone says something bad about him, he lashes out at him.
Well, okay, maybe I'm looking at it wrong because he's not sensitive. Some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth has no sensitivity to it at all.
No, I mean, he's insecure himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, when you're talking about him, you got to have some kind of double standard or something. You got to always...
He goes after Meryl Streep for saying bad things about him after he's president. Who cares? We're going to get back on Donald Trump again. He's just... How about let's stick with the Warriors?
Yes.
Draymond Green and Paul Pierce had some war of words. What was going on there?
Well, Pierce was over there on the side and stuff, and he was
I think he said something about the NBA Finals last year. He gave Draymond a history lesson.
Yeah, but before that, when they was what he was talking about is when he was seeing Draymond Green and the Warriors, and he was up there talking about how they would have done them last year and stuff, and
Draymond went after Paul Pierce saying, chasing that farewell tour, they don't love you like that. You can't get no farewell tour. They don't love you like that. You thought you was Kobe. So why did Draymond say that? It started because, so this is Paul Pierce talking. He said, this is how it all started. Blake Griffin posted him up, got a foul, and I was just pretty much like, you can't guard Blake. He gonna give it to you all night. You not that good. You only good because you got Steph Curry, KD, and Klay Thompson around you. That's the only reason you get recognition. And so I'm trying to spark my team with the trash talk, go at their emotional leader, and give my guys some confidence. And that's when you hear him say what he said.
Well, I'll look at
He says that I've been around, he's into Kevin Garnett and Gary Payton, who are like the two, like the Hall of Fame trash talkers, right?
Yeah, but you know what? He's sitting over there on the sideline.
Because this is last year.
This is last year. And he's picking on a player out there, questioning how good a person he is, player he is. Look, Draymond is the heart and soul of the Warriors.
Here's Paul Pierce's tweet. 73 wins and you thought
that was the one that set it off.
73 wins and you thought you was gonna win a title that year, and then emoji laughing. 3-1 lead. Oops.
Yeah, but you know what? What did Pierce win? Before Kevin Durant...
He was on a big three with the Celtics,
but
right?
before they got Kevin Garnett, and who else came over there? The three-point shooter.
The Celtics big three?
Yeah. Before they put the big three together...
Who was the third one?
I'll think of it while I'm talking. But before they put the big three together, he wasn't winning nothing. You know, he acts like sure, he's a future Hall of Famer.
Like he's Kobe Bryant.
But he ain't nowhere near Mount Rushmore himself. You know, he's just a Hall of Fame player who done had a Hall of Fame career. But when it comes down when it comes down to it, he's not going to be one of the top 50 Hall of Famers of all time.
Paul Pierce?
No. No.
Oh, watch out.
He is not going to be a top 50 Hall of Famer of all time. Or maybe in Boston he might be, but he might be one of the top 50 Boston players. So he's sitting on the sideline. He's trying to get his own players fired up.
Yeah.
But he was directing it at Draymond Green,
who is the emotional.
That's right. So Draymond went at him. You know, you invoke yourself into the game and stuff. It's like when Spike Lee was back there when he used to be getting Reggie Miller off. And Reggie Miller would just go off on him and stuff. Well, that's what he did. He put himself into the game and he opened himself up for scrutiny. And I'm glad Draymond came at him like that. I bet you next time we play him, he sit his butt on the sideline and stay quiet.
No, I bet Draymond goes for the nuts.
You know he's got that in his pedigree.
Yeah. Either that or he'll slap him around like he does his...
It's okay with me.
So, another NBA news, the Lakers got Magic Johnson to become their new general manager. Is this further proof that the Lakers don't know what they're doing? Because
I kind of beg to differ there. I kind of think that that's one of the best moves that they could make because...
Why do you say that?
The way they've been going, I just don't think he could do anything worse. I think the way they've been going, everything is doing bad, so I don't think he could fall any lower.
Are they going to get better?
But I hope not. I'm a Warrior fan. They beat us down for 20 years.
Do you hate the Lakers?
Oh, I hate the Lakers. You know what? I want them to stay at the bottom of the barrel. I want Magic to come there and maybe get rid of one of the good players they got. They probably only got one or two anyway who might be.
D'Angelo Russell?
D'Angelo Russell is okay.
I think it's the only one I can
I
name.
think Ingram is
the guy from Duke?
Yeah, I think he's okay. But and Randall, I just think is okay. Clarkson, okay. They got a bunch of okay players. And in the NBA, you're not winning with okay players.
What's their record?
I think they got 13 or 17 wins and 40-some losses. It's pretty. I'm loving it. I mean, just kick them while they down. They kicked us when we was down.
Poor Jack Nicholson.
Oh, yeah. Is he still coming to every game? I think he's been taking some games off.
Think so.
It might be bad on his heart to see all that trauma going on.
He doesn't want to go watch that.
Would you? He's probably acting like 49er fans. You know, and now that they lose, and ain't none of them going to the game either.
Very nice.
Yeah. I gotta always stick a little, little point up. Now, I ain't want nobody to forget about how y'all doing. Like kick them when they down.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, I was doing the same thing to you for a decade, so.
I can't recall.
Yeah, of course not. All right, so did you hear about we're talking about the new Kings trade is the Los Angeles Kings got a new goaltender from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Did you hear about that?
Oh. In what alternative universe do you think I would have heard about that? No.
You didn't see that on the bottom line?
Oh, no.
I thought you would have called me.
Oh, no. The Kings.
Dave, you guys got Blaine Bishop.
Is he a good player?
Yeah, he got to the Tampa Bay Lightning to the Stanley Cup 2 years ago.
Is he an all-star player?
He has been in the past, I think.
Is he still an all-star caliber player?
No, because he's going to be our backup.
What are you so hyped up about a backup player?
Let's talk about a backup goalie. That's what everyone wants to hear on this thing.
A backup goalie?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
For a team that's not even in the playoffs right now.
Man.
Hey, look out now.
I don't know. How did you get into being a hockey fan anyway? You live in California, in Stockton. It don't snow here or anything. how do you get into being a hockey fan?
I'm into the aesthetics of sports, and hockey looks cool.
Hockey looks cool.
You don't think so?
It's one of the few sports that you don't even look cool. It's not a TV sport. It don't look good on TV. And you going to sit up here and talk about aesthetic beauty?
Oh, that's awesome.
When it don't even look good, it's like almost unwatchable on TV. And you going to talk about aesthetic beauty?
I watch like 100 games a year.
Oh, God.
You don't think so?
I have to call you a doctor.
Like the top 5 best sports uniforms in all of sports are hockey jerseys.
What?
You've never seen a Montreal Canadiens jersey?
What?
You've never seen a Detroit Red Wings jersey?
And I ain't trying to look at them either.
Well, I'll have to show them to you.
Oh, God, please don't do me any favors.
You probably trade in all that Raiders stuff for
You already know better than
a
that.
Chicago Blackhawks jersey.
Yeah,
No,
right.
the Kings. We're silver and black now.
Well, I guess that's the only thing good about you is you silver and black.
Well, they can't figure out what their colors are. They keep changing them. A lot more than the Niners.
Oh, no, yeah. Whenever you say changing colors, I go to them colors in San Francisco. They don't know what color they're going to be next year.
Let's talk about the other Kings getting rid of Demarcus Cousins to New Orleans. And I guess the drama is New Orleans is 0-4.
Yeah.
I was watching Colin Cowherd talk about the trade, and he said it was worse for the Pelicans than the Kings.
You know what?
Because DeMarcus is a head case.
You can say what you want to,
Yeah.
but the games they're losing, they're not losing because of DeMarcus. They're losing the games because they just don't have enough depth on that team to, like the two big centers, they're doing their part, but they don't have anybody else. Seem like
Yeah, but they're just outside the playoffs, right?
They was just outside the playoffs when they made the trade.
I know.
They just out a little bit far.
Now they're farther out.
That's right.
Well, they're supposed to be better.
But that's going to be one of them trades. You know what? I think down the road, since they got them to, you can get better players to come and see. People going to want to come to New Orleans to play.
No.
But Sacramento.
Colin Cowherd brought up Grant Napier's name, who you were getting on. And Grant Napier is saying nobody wants to play with DeMarcus Cousins.
Well, he's employed.
New Orleans is
employed by the Kings. And I listened to that clown try to sit up there and just make people think that was a good move for the Kings. The Kings ain't winning either. I mean, and they're going to get worse and worse. They're just like, you can't.
They've been bad for a long time.
You cannot give up good talent. If you're going to trade an all-star player, I want an all-star player in return. Look, you get rid of them, you're still losing. You keep them, you're still losing. The problem is with the Kings, the reason the deal is they had to make the deal. They had an all-star guard who was developing when they got rid of the what's the little guy over in Boston just got transferred there? Oh God. But anyway, they traded their little point guard who's now is going to come to me, and now here he is.
Rudy Gay.
No, get out of here.
I'm just trying to name Kings.
Wait.
I don't know any of these guys.
They traded their guard to well, they didn't trade him. They got rid of him because they said he was too short, and and he wouldn't sign up with Boston. Now he's third.
Chicago? Rondo?
No.
Okay.
Quit guessing.
Okay.
So he wouldn't sign.
Who doesn't want to listen to that?
About your different guessing, you might guess a baseball player next or a hockey player
It's
next.
not that bad.
But you get rid of him, and basically when his next Rudy Gay was his next best player on that team.
Yeah.
The Kings has been drafting.
I know that guy.
The Kings been drafting like in the top 5 or 6 players for the last 6 or 7 years, and they've had some horrendous picks. I mean, they done made bad decisions, and they the ones you got to put people around them.
Are we talking about Sacramento or New Orleans or both?
Both of them. Sacramento's just awful. They known to make bad choices.
Yeah.
You know, they remind me of how the Warriors, when the Warriors was doing bad. the Warriors used to trade away all their best players. All their best players, they trade them. They was like, I don't know where you're going. You're getting out of here. They trade them to anybody. Anybody who wanted to trade, like
Chris Webber?
Yeah, they got rid of him too.
What'd they get for him?
Basically,
give me a NBA history lesson.
Okay, they got rid of him for a guy named Tom Chambers, or was it? Gugliotta. Tom Gugliotta. They traded him to get their 3 first-round draft picks back for the trade that they
white
used
guy?
to get. Yeah. His first game in as a Warrior, he came in and had 27 points and about 15 rebounds. Everybody was, oh, this may not be a bad deal. Well, guess what? He never got even close to that ever again. They ended up getting rid of him.
What?
It was just like the other day when the Kings made this trade.
Uh-huh.
Man, the Kings, all of a sudden, they came out and played this next game against Denver, and they was like, oh, man, they had like energy and stuff, and everybody was playing. They won the game. They may not win another game the rest of the year.
They haven't since?
No, they haven't. Because what happens is they came out like the coaches all rah-rah, the owners all rah-rah. Y'all got to play hard for us. We got to get this win and stuff. And they responded. But guess what? Rah-rah and stuff only get you so far. Talent at one point takes over, and they have no talent. That was like the craziest trade I ever seen in my life.
Why are we even talking about the other teams? There's only 2 teams that matter.
You're right.
It's like if we were having a soda debate and we started talking about Shasta Cola.
Yeah,
there's only
right.
Coke.
Yeah.
There's only Coke and Pepsi.
So
there's only the Warriors and the Cavs.
The Warriors and the Cavs, yeah.
Of course, you did say the Cavs aren't going to make the finals.
Oh, they're not going to make the finals.
It's got Andrew Bogut.
Oh, if they get Bogut on their team, you know what? Somebody said that Bogut had a chance to come back to the Warriors, but he really, under the rules, he couldn't have came back to the Warriors. But why would the Warriors want him? What did he do? He played 15 minutes a game. Maybe he got 7 or 8 rebounds.
Once he went down, then everything went down, right?
He was garbage. He was the reason we was losing when we did lose. And at the start of the year, they was up there talking about, oh, the Warriors lost Festus Ezeli and Bogut.
You lost 10 games all year, including the playoffs, didn't you?
But it wasn't because Ezeli don't play. He ain't played a single game this year. And they was making a big issue of him not playing. And Bogut, you done found out how good Bogut is work. He just got released for nothing.
Did you say bogus?
Bogus.
Bogut.
Bogus.
Well, Stephen A. Smith was calling him Andrew Bogus. I like that name.
Because you know why? His game is bogus. You know what bogus means, don't you?
Explain it to me.
Okay, something's bogus. It's like it's fake. It's like it's like fake, and his game is fake. You know, like if you into analytics, you can take analytics and you can turn them the right way to make anybody look good with the right situation. Well, that's how Bogut was. They was always talking about how good he was in there. They didn't ever talk about how he got elbowed one time and all of a sudden just went and stayed out a week. Or whenever he got hurt. Like some games, he fouled people on purpose just to get out of the game. He's garbage. He shouldn't even be in the NBA. And now the Cavaliers think that if they can get Bogut on their side, that's going to help them. Oh, man, we have to take him out. Who is he going to guard on the Warriors?
JaVale McGee.
Well, JaVale McGee isn't in there that much. So
talk about a clown show, those two.
Oh, no. McGee is better than Bogut. Better, way better. He can shoot. He can shoot free throws better. I think he plays defense better. Oh, man, he is way better than Bogut.
I'll take your word for it.
He's not being released.
How many times has that happened, though?
What?
He's been released.
I don't think he's been released in the middle of the year. I think he's been,
well, whatever.
He ain't necessarily been released. He's been like,
let's talk about greatness.
Yeah, what? Okay, who's great?
Last week for my birthday, my dad got me a Tom Brady hat. Now, That guy threw for what? Almost 500 yards in the Super Bowl and the largest comeback by far in Super Bowl history. 6th round pick. Had a body type like mine.
Oh. Hope not.
When he came into the combine.
Okay.
Just a little taller.
Yeah.
No athleticism.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever come from so far? Well,
there have been other Super Bowl champion players.
I'm talking about quarterbacks, though.
There have been
That's the
other
hardest
quarterbacks
position.
that then come and just made it from out of nowhere. But
To win
ain't
5 Super
nobody,
Bowls.
well, it's obvious nobody else done won 5 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So it's kind of you can't answer that. No, there's no other player that accomplished as much as he did accomplish. As much as it pains me to admit that,
Yeah.
he didn't accomplish a lot.
My dad got himself a Tom Brady hat, and he got me one. I would show it to
That's
you.
child abuse.
I would show it to you, but I'm 33.
Well, then it's young man, son abuse, giving somebody a Brady hat.
I wanted it. He's my favorite player now.
I guess it shows the apple don't fall far from the tree.
I watch a lot of Colin
How
Cowherd.
is Brady your favorite player and you're a 40-winer fan?
I watch a lot of Colin Cowherd.
How is Brady your favorite player and you're a 40-winer fan?
Because I'm objective.
Objective. Oh,
What?
you mean you gonna pick some other player over a player on your own team?
See, a couple weeks ago, I asked you who was the greatest quarterback of all time. You did think about it for a little bit. And then you said Ken Stabler.
No, but before that, I actually said if we take the Raiders out of it, because when I'm being asked who's the greatest player of all time, I'm coming up with a Raider. That's just how I roll. But if we have to take the Raiders out of the scenario, then I can pick another player. But it is nowhere in the world you're going to sit here. It's different than you. We didn't ask you the greatest player. We asked who your favorite player was, and you came up with Brady. How is it not that one of the 49ers is not your favorite player?
You know what?
You know what? That's an indictment on the 49ers itself.
You know what else?
You know why? No, I'm going to tell you, wait, I'm going to get this point across here.
Okay.
That's an indictment because right now,
all right.
there are no good 49er players. So you being like you are so-called
Navarro Bowman.
hardcore 49er, there you can't even come up with a great 49. Oh, how far the mighty has fallen.
Navarro Bowman.
You think he's a great player?
Yeah.
So
When he's playing.
when I asked you who was your favorite player or something, you should have said Bowen. If you ask me who's my favorite player, hey, I'm saying Derek Carr. And it's really
that's a
close
tough decision.
between him and Khalil Mack. But I'm not saying somebody else's team, somebody else's player is my favorite player. That's blasphemy.
My favorite all-time player might be a Los Angeles Ram.
You know what?
Deacon-
You just making my case.
Deacon Jones. He's the man.
You just
What am
making my case.
I love Ronnie Lott. I have a Ronnie Lott jersey.
You didn't say he was your favorite.
My favorite
you mean
49er.
your favorite player of all time is not a 49er fan? I mean a 49er player.
Have you watched Deacon Jones highlights?
Your favorite player of all time.
Have you
know
seen
what,
the guy
Dave?
talk?
If we was to some kind
Have
of
you
way
seen him
get-
interviewed?
I don't care. If we was to start like some kind of poll right now, and we have fans from around the country just say, if you are still a fan, who's your favorite player of all time? If you're a Cowboy fan, who's your player? If you're a Green Bay Packer, who's your favorite? A Philadelphia Eagle, all the other teams, they come up with somebody on their own team as their favorite player of all time. And you up here talking about Brady?
Yeah, that's how Charles Oakley's get created.
Well, Dave, between your level of fandom and mine is just totally different, you know?
Well, here's another example of maybe me being a bad fan. I'm so ashamed. Jameis Winston was in the news again last week for his speech. Did you hear about this? I brought it up to you. And
Yeah, let me hear what he had to say.
well, his what he said was he was talking to an elementary school in kind of the hood in the Tampa Bay area, I think it was.
Yeah.
And there was some kid was like falling asleep on his arm, and he was trying to wake him up. So he told all the boys to stand up and the ladies sit down. Boys stand up because we're strong. And he's telling them that he told them to repeat, "I can do anything I put my." Well, the controversial statement is, ladies are supposed to be silent, polite, and sit down. Well, let's just play the thing.
I can do anything I put my mind to. I can do anything I put my mind to. Okay, I know I got a lot of people like this. All my boys, all my young boys stand up, man. The ladies sit down.
We can be a first overall pick.
All my boys stand up. Stand up. We strong, right? We strong. We strong, right? Okay, all my boys, just tell me one time. I can do anything I put my mind to. A lot of boys are supposed to be soft-spoken. You know what I'm saying? One day y'all gonna have a very deep voice like this. Right now y'all talking like this, but one day y'all gonna have a very, very deep voice. But the ladies, they're supposed to be silent, polite, gentle.
Wow.
But my men supposed to be strong. Okay, so I want y'all to tell me what the third rule of life is. I can do anything I put my mind to. Scream it.
What'd you think of that?
Well, he reminds me of somebody else. Your president, misogynistic. You know, how do you say something like that? Talking about
So
the
it
girls.
sounded that bad?
Yeah, because look, he started off saying the girls, you got to be silent and sit down and stuff and putting them down. And he's building the little boys up. You know, if I'd have had a little girl off in that class, I'd have probably just got up and just, you know, got her out of there. You know, kids don't need to be listening to that. And you know what?
Why would you get Jameis Winston to speak at your school?
I guarantee he won't be speaking at too many more schools.
He should have never been to begin with.
Well, you know what? I guarantee you they not calling him to do any more inspirational speaking.
You know his history.
Yeah. And you call him to, that is just, and where was this school at?
Tampa Bay area somewhere.
Oh, this is just crazy.
Well, I want to bring up Jameis Winston because, as you
I
can
know.
see, we have Florida State Seminoles stuff all over my living room here.
Yeah.
But I am not a Florida State fan anymore.
What?
I haven't been for, 3 years.
Why? Because they started losing?
They won the national championship the year I abandoned them. It's because they changed the logo and the uniforms.
You changed the, so.
They got rid of this iconic, I have this huge fat head of the old logo behind you. Maybe we'll post a picture of it. And they changed it to this cum guzzling. He looks like he's relieving himself. He looks like he's having an orgasm, the logo. It's embarrassing. Have you seen it?
And that was enough to make you
Are you serious?
kick your team to the curb.
Look at that. That's the best logo in all of sports.
You know what? Now I understand why.
They put tribal markings all over the jerseys. They're a mess.
I think it had something to do with about the, didn't it have something to do about the Indians and stuff when they was trying to get them to change?
Not at
that?
all.
It didn't?
No.
I thought it had
They
something
put
to
tribal, actual Seminole tribal markings on the jersey now.
do. Oh, they do?
Yeah.
And you don't like the jersey?
No.
And so because you don't like the jersey, that's enough to make you give up a team who you got your whole house filled up with all of this Florida State guard.
Well, I'm a fan of the old logo. And the
Man,
old helmet.
You know what? It just goes to show, it don't take a lot to get you to just kick your teams to the curb.
I'm so ashamed.
I mean, you are so fair weather, so easy to desert your team. You don't follow your teams. You got to stay with your teams in the heart. Look, I stayed with the Raiders when they left Oakland, when they went to L.A., and they back here, and they threatening to move again.
Okay, so you were talking 1 week about when they're moving, might move to Las Vegas.
Yes.
And someone was talking about, well, let's keep the Raiders team name and colors in Oakland, like the Cleveland Browns moving to Baltimore.
Yeah.
So would you root for if the Raiders moved to Las Vegas and turned themselves into the Las Vegas Locomotives? Would you root for that team? It's the same team.
Oh.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
What am I going to do?
You got to get your Locos jersey.
I am going to be a Raider fan until I die. They might call themselves something else. But like I said before, it's bigger than the team. Being a Raider fan is a lifestyle. Even if they change the name, that's still the Raiders. I'm a Raider fan. I will go down with the ship.
So if the Cleveland Browns history were to repeat, and you still had the Las Vegas Outlaws down there, but the Oakland Raiders come back.
You mean if they created a new team back in Oakland?
Like the new Browns.
Like the new Browns, would I start being a Raider fan again?
Or would you stick with your Vegas team? The Las Vegas Posse. I'm naming all the old Las Vegas teams.
I'm sticking with the Raiders.
Wait, what? You're going to the expansion team?
I'm not going to the expansion team.
Oh, really?
I'm sticking with the Raiders.
You wear Locos stuff?
I wear my Oakland Raiders stuff and go to their games.
And you don't go to the Oakland games?
My team would be playing in whatever place. That's where I'm going. I've sworn allegiance to the Raider Nation.
To that team.
To that team.
No matter what they're called.
I don't care. We've been
whatever they wear.
They call Jesus all kind of names. I don't care what they call the Raiders. I'm a Raider fan. I'm not going nowhere else. I'm rooting for the Raiders.
No matter what they're called.
No matter what they call.
What?
I'm a Raider fan.
Why is that team so important?
To you, Dave.
Yeah.
Since you're not on that kind of level, you don't understand. You just can't understand.
I'm so jealous.
You don't understand. I tell you all the time, it's more than just rooting for a team. Being a Raider fan is a commitment. It's a lifetime. It's a lifestyle. And I took this on as my lifestyle where when people see me, they could just know I'm a Raider fan even if I don't have Raider gear on. You probably never see me without Raider gear on.
Well, you did have that Travis Buck t-shirt that one time.
Whatever, but...
That's my favorite outfit you ever wore.
It's 365 days in a year. I'm wearing Raider gear 360 of them. You know?
What? Yeah, and you made it yourself.
Hey.
But you would make the new Las Vegas logo if it was Las Vegas Outlaws.
Yeah, I would. But I'd implore all my other fellow Raider fans is when we go to the game, we showing up with Raider gear.
Oh, you wouldn't.
It's not going to die.
Yeah.
If some kind of way the Raiders, because if Oakland loses this team, we may not, and I'm 60 years old, we may not get another another team here in Oakland in my lifetime.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you won't.
Well, so all of a sudden I'm gonna just I'm staying with the Raiders.
Yeah, I still got my Florida State stuff up in here. It still looks cool. But I'm not gonna I was a fan. I had a lifestyle too. You're jealous of this. I would get my laptop out and watch that Florida State Wake Forest game that was just on the computer.
You would watch it.
I might be able to name more Seminoles than you can name Raiders.
I doubt that. I know all the Raiders, especially all of the legends.
Okay, yeah, well, no one wants to listen to that, so.
Oh, okay.
All right. We're over an hour here. We're going to talk about O.J. Simpson, but maybe we'll save that for next week.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of tying into the Jameis Winston story, so let's tease that, and we'll come back and talk talk about that next week. What do you think?
That works for me.
All right, so this is the Big Al and Dave podcast. You got any last words?
Go Raiders!
Go Knowles!
Okay.
Oh,
I thought you just said that you wasn't rooting for them anymore.
I root for Warwick Dunn, Deion Sanders,
You are so confused.
Derek Brooks,
You are so confused.
Chris Wanke.
So confused.
Should I keep going?
You contradict yourself every I just don't understand you, Dave.
You'll figure it out.
You haven't figured it out, so how do you expect other people gonna figure it out?
All right, let's wrap this up.
All right,
All right, later.
go Raiders.